Calling all Scientologists and Scientology. Everybody in the outside world is willing to give you a helping hand, including the ones in the SPTV and Aftermath Foundation with monetary aid. I even have the best way you can kick back today here on Human Animal Audit Corner. We look at the world as the great big hope on earth with the Cult Awareness Network. It was considered the great big hope for parents with kids that got lost in Emerald City to the dark wizard. Behind that iron curtain, they were the best source when everybody wanted to know about what organization is the cult. Until Scientology bought it in 1996 when it went bankrupt. And now a bunch of rejects from an auditor's version of Romper Room. David Miscavige is running the whole classroom. He would be known as the midget that came out of Munchkin Land. It was the celebrities that sit in Time Out with a dunce cap by L. Ron Hubbard was really behind that whole outcome of the organization. During the 80s, a foundation that is called the Cult Awareness Network, an anti-cult movement in the United States, would be around since the late 60s and going into the 70s. Throughout the 60s and 70s, teenagers and college students would enter a spacecraft that was built by L. Ron Hubbard when he first arrived in Clearwater. Ken had a whole line of volunteers that would educate the public about the harmful practices of the cults. And now a bunch of left-wing ministers and priestess found a bunch of alien beings land from Venus. This is a new religion that sent out telepathic airwaves into space. Isn't that a hoot? But one day in 1995, a young man named Jason Scott sued CAN, Cult Awareness Network, for $1 million. He claimed that the nonprofit organization tried to kidnap him. They didn't kidnap him. They took him out for ice cream, and that was right after David Miscavige fried him. Then they took a detour to his mommy and daddy's house, where right after they took a trip to France. Yeah, that was it. Okay. They didn't kidnap him. They just simply wanted to see the world. Miscavige wanted to give him a reactive mind by turning on the radio. Then radio waves goes all the way out to Clearwater. Isn't that so cool? Scott even filed a lawsuit against the nonprofit, and this is while he had his blankie with him. This whole case went to where Jason won his $1 million lawsuit. That's only in pacifiers. Yeah, because Scientologies are nothing but a bunch of babies. The judge in that case decided to bail when Scott's attorney takes so many trips to the bathroom and thought, hey, why not? I'll give it to him. The defense attorney was thinking, boy, they really head for the hills when they did it in their pants. The whole entire case practically went to the can when their constant trip to the bathroom turned into a nightmare. After the trial, Ken had to file Chapter 7. Then later, Scientology would buy the Cult Awareness Network. Then nevertheless, Ken would go from nonprofit into a criminal organization. But all in all, the Cult Awareness Network used to be the best source of information when everybody wanted to know about what organization is a cult. During the 1980s, a foundation that is called CAN started an anti-cult movement in the United States, where a young man named Jason Scott claimed that the nonprofit organization tried to kidnap him. The young man named Jason Scott claimed that the nonprofit tried to kidnap him. Then nevertheless, Scott would file a lawsuit against the nonprofit, and this is while he had his blankie with him. But overall, Ken would go from nonprofit into a criminal organization. And that was right out of Emerald City. And in conclusion, the cult awareness would never be the same again. And that would be the whole truth. Now, man, was that a quick one. Nearly 10 minutes and I'm still here. Okay, well, That was the 10 minutes, the shortest 10 minutes of my life. So I am working on more stories tomorrow, and this time it's going to be longer. And next week, I'll bring you another mafia story. And this one is an animal rights issue. It's going to be Scientology versus the mafia with the treatment of animals. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow. Ciao.